So if I go like this, and then I just hate the delay on it.
No,
Huh?
is it not for like?
Yeah, it's chemistry?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So everybody knows where the playlist is? All right. What I'm going to allow you to do is once we start getting into this, you will be able to have your phones out to look at the different types of stuff on here. So if I go like this, I go to my channel. What am I looking for? Occipital bone. I want to go back. Boom. And shoot. How did I find my live last time? We're wasting time. We're wasting time.
Live. It says right there. That's all.
Ah, there it is. Yes, thank you. Okay, so that's me from last period. All right, boom, that's me now. All right, you guys see that? So, I gotta turn my thing so it's. Look. Do you guys see my stick? Did you guys see my stick? Oh, can I have it?
Oh yeah.
All right. So if we look, then that's the back, right? And that's the occiput right there. See, let me wait for this to get caught up. Figures the internet goes out. Okay, the occiput's just this part right back here. Okay, back in there. So it's the back of your head. So I don't know about you, but sometimes like when my kids were bad, I'd whack them up outside the back of the head. You guys ever do that to your kids? Yeah. Huh? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. So, come on. I had a far better connection last period. Okay. So are we good? Yep. That's your two parietal bones. Are you guys good? Can you see that in the back? Or is it better if I just... I'll do both. Okay, so that's going to be back in here. This is your lambdoid suture. This is the occiput. Now remember, I'm just showing you where they are right now. We have to go through the parts of these. Okay, what's the next bone I have on there? Temporal. Your temporal is basically where that hook is. All right. Yeah. Your ear is your mandible. That's your jawbone. So your ear's not attached to that. But see this right here, right in here, where that hook is. That's all going to be your temporal. That suture is going to be called the squamous suture, which we'll come back to that. But this is your temporal bone all in here. Also, your temporal bone is going to make up part of that arch that's right there. So it makes up, come on, boom. And it makes up part of that arch. Come on. See that arch? So you guys see that? And in actuality, if you look on the arch right there, you can actually see they should have a little line right there. There's no way to be picked up on there. There's a little line right there. Do you guys see that? And that's the back part of this is the temporal. The front part's going to be zygomatic. What's the next bone on there? The sphenoid. All right, take the top off. If some of these are new, so the top may be a little hard to take off. As long as you have it unhooked, you're not going to hurt it. All right. And then if we look like this, you guys see the inside of that? All right. Why does what? A hole where? You guys have a hole there. All right. So here's what's going to happen, okay? Is right up in here, first of all, this part that's all up in here, up in there, do you guys see that? That's your frontal bone, okay? Most of it. We're going to come back to this in just a minute, okay? But then if I look, do you guys see how there's that little thing that's kind of like a U in there? Do you guys see the U? That little U that's in there. That's called the sella turcica, okay? That's part of the sphenoid bone. Okay? Right smack dab in the center. Right there. See it?
It's like upside down, right?
What do you mean?
What about this, right?
I think so. You guys see that? Yeah. So that's right in the center of your sphenoid bone. Now, if I go above that, right here, that's called the lesser wing, which we'll come to, but that's part of the sphenoid bone. And then on the bottom part where you see all those holes is actually the greater wing. And we'll come back to all that. I just want you to know the sphenoid's right there. Sphenoid's also going to make up part of your eye socket. It's going to make up, it's also going to make up, it's actually over in here also, where you see that screw. So anyways, we'll come back to that. But I just want you to get the general idea right now. Okay? Are we good? Are we good? All right, so that's the sphenoid bone. What's the next one? Ethmoid. All right. So now, do you guys see on the skull, if you look in the nose, there's a bone going straight down the middle? But it looks like a V that's on its side. You guys see that? See how the bone goes away from you and then it comes back towards you? All right. The top part of that, look at the video. The top part of that, come on, get caught up. I don't know why the delay is really behind this period. All right. The top part of that is the ethmoid bone. The bottom's going to be the vomer. Okay? So if I look again, right there, I'm showing the ethmoid bone. Okay, I don't say anything about the vomer. But if you look at it, it looks like this, right? As you look at that bone, the ethmoid, the top part is the ethmoid, where I'm moving right now. The bottom part's the vomer. Got it? Top part's ethmoid, bottom part's vomer. Now, if I go back to here, do you see how there's a little triangular shaped thing there with a piece sticking up? Everybody see that? Put your finger on it. Right there. Right in the center of the frontal bone. Right here, right in the center of the frontal bone. Okay? There's a piece sticking up right there. You guys see that? That part, and I'm going to come back to this, okay, when we do the ethmoid bone. But this is part of the ethmoid bone too. That's called the crista galli. Your brain holds onto it to hold it in place. And then right below that, you can see it might look like there's some little holes in there. You guys see that? That's called the cribriform plate. Remember we talked about the nerves of the nose going through the cribriform plate? That's the cribriform plate. Okay? Are we good? So, but that's also ethmoid bone. So those are also part of the ethmoid bone. So that's ethmoid, and the top part of the nose is ethmoid. And then your ethmoid is also going to make up some of your eye socket. Your eye socket's made up of 7 different bones. All right, what's the next one on there? Maxillary. Maxillary is really cool. If you go like this with your eyes and put your fingers under your eyes, don't do that. The last time I needed someone poking their eye out. Oh, elder told us this. But that's maxillary. It comes all the way down the face, and you tell or you don't know. Your palate's actually your maxillary bone, except for the back, which is called the palatine bone. Yeah.
I have a question about the sphenoid bone.
Uh-huh.
Is that this illusion? Is that that?
Mm-hmm. That's good. We'll come back to that. That's the saliturgica. Your pituitary gland sits in there. So that shows how important the pituitary gland is, because you actually have a piece in the skull just to protect the pituitary gland. Make sense? Because you need your pituitary. All right. Can I go on? So the maxillary is going to be basically going straight down the center of the face and the top part, the front part of the top part of your mouth. Okay? So now, if I flip this over, is the next one palatine? Yeah. So at the back, do you see a structure that's kind of shaped like this at the back of the mouth? Right? So if I go, oh, better yet, if I go like this, do you guys see that? Everybody see that? If I take 2 fingers, I can actually insert it right in there. See that? Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Okay, everybody puts the fingers in there. That's your palatine bone. So it's the back part of this, right? Make sense? Does that make sense? So that's your palatine bone. It's just a real small bone. Just a real small bone. Huh? Right there? See the part that's shaped like this at the back of the mouth? That's the palatine bone. Because then, in front of that, if I were to go like this, because in front of this, again, this is if you look at the skull, this part here would actually be your maxillary. Right? This would be maxillary. And this was my palatine. All right? Are we good in the hood? All right. Can I go on? What's the next one? Zygomatic bone. We already did vomer, right? Are you with me back there? Are you with me? Yeah. All right. This is the vomer that's back here. The bottom of the nose, right? When we're talking about that indentation, how that goes in. Everybody see that? All right. So then the next one is going to be the zygomatic bone. All right. Everybody touch your zygomatic bones. That's your cheeks. That's your cheekbones. They're also going to form a little bit of the bottom of the eye. right? And they form part of the zygomatic arch, that arch right there. Well, sometimes basketball players will break those. I had a friend break the zygomatic arch. All right? So that's the zygomatic arch, your cheekbones, right? Then the next one is going to be nasal bones. If you guys feel your nose, Kevin, you with us? All right, you feel your nose? And then you feel this bone up here? Yeah. All right? That's right here. And that's your nasal bone. You have two of them. If you really want to feel it, put your finger in your nose and go up as high as you can. Don't do that. Don't do that. Huh? Yeah, go ahead and put the sticks up there. And if you can't get up there, have somebody hit it. What? Extra credit. All right. On the nose. Yeah.
Like if you touch it like this, you also feel bone.
If what? This right here is not bone. This right here is cartilage. The bone, you can feel where the bone starts. If you go like this, you can feel where the bone starts. All right? So if you look inside the nose, I had my ethmoid bone going back, right? 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 All right. And then we said we had our vomer, which was coming forward, right? Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, if you also notice, we have these little things sticking out from the side. You guys see that? You guys see that?
Yeah.
This is your superior nasal conchae, which is not on the nose. All right? But this is part of the ethmoid bone. And I don't know in the video if I call it middle or superior, because they don't have them. They only have two of them, right? On the thing. So I never asked those on the test. But then if you notice, down in here coming off the side, I have another one of these. You guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, does anybody else see it?
Yeah, no.
You see those coming off? Because this is going to be called your inferior nasal conchae. This is its own bone. All right? That's its own bone. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's its own bone. That's just attached to other stuff. This middle and superior ones are basically part of the ethmoid bone. Okay? Are we good? And then the last one's the mandible, which is your jaw, which we're not there yet. All right? Where's what? Oh, lacrimal. If you look inside the eye, you'll see a little hole right here. That's basically your lacrimal bone.
So does the optic nerve feed through these holes?
The optic nerve is actually going to go back through these nerves in the sphenoid. It's called the optic canal.
What does it say lacrimal?
It's right under nasal. Third one up.
Lacrimal.
Yeah.
Wait, where did you say that was?
That's, if you look in here, it's the little hole that's right there. All right. Are we good? Now, how much time we got? Who has a watch? Okay, what time do we get out? You don't know? Is it 34? Today's early out.
Wait, what time is it right now?
I don't know.
It's like 11.
What, this is period 2. We get out at 11:34. What time is it now? 11:18. So I'll give you guys, about 7 or 8 minutes to go over this and learn it. Okay? Take this time seriously because there's more and more and more and more coming. Like, for example, on the frontal bone, there's like 3 or 4 more things I got to go over.
The manual is your.
Good job. No. What?
I'm just saying, I had it
With us? So the way you're going to be tested on this is like this. Where's my skull? Where's one that had tape on it? So see this nerve? See how there's tape there, and it's pointing to the coronal suture. So I'll have bones set up around the room with like tape and stuff on them of what I want you to identify, right? Then what will happen is you'll have the test questions in your hand and a scantron, right? And so then what will happen is when you get to the bone, you will identify you'll read the test question, and then you'll identify what it is. And then you get about 45 seconds there. Then you'll move over to the next thing, which will be another bone with tape on it that'll tell you something. Right? So that's the way it works. All right? You all good in the hood? Multiple choice. How many questions? 35. What? No, you can't take these home, but there's and again, I have videos on all this.
Cheaper ones?
Yeah. In fact, you could have bought some for Halloween.
You can.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they don't have all the same parts, but they're pretty close. Yeah, these are real expensive.
What makes them expensive?
The fact that they're so detailed and they're thick and they're high quality. Even those cheap ones that I used to buy, these ones here, these were still like $250. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
do you buy them in bulk?
you can, but I think I must have asked for more than. I must have asked for. I thought I only asked for like 10. I must have asked for more because everybody has the same exact one. Normally every year they change a little bit. I don't remember because it's during the pandemic and they said we got a bunch of money if you guys want to spend, and we prefer that the people who came in.
How do we get so much money?
Huh?
How do we get so much money?
At the end of the year, the state always comes along and says, "Hey guys, there's more money than we thought we had, so we're releasing it to schools." And therefore, and then another thing, you know, at the beginning of the year, you fill out those things talking about family income and free lunch and that. Well, those all get processed, and then at the end of the year, they release the money. So that's why those are always important to fill out. All right, are you guys studying this? Because this class seems like it's kind of.
Frontal. I just know the frontal and the parietal.
Parietal.
I think the
Yeah.
What exactly is it?
Is a what?
What is a headache?
So, depends on the type of headache, right? Sometimes if it's a tension headache, it's just something usually in the neck that's something's gone wrong. It's putting pressure on the nerves and stuff that go up to the head. Migraine headaches come from a blood vessel constricting, and what happens when the blood vessel constricts, it's going to cause the brain's not getting enough oxygen, and so you start to hallucinate and things like that. But then when it opens up, it puts pressure on nerves and causes a migraine. And then I'm not sure about a cluster headache. Cluster headaches feel like a hot red poker in the eye, and they come during seasons, but I'm not quite sure what the cause of those are. I'm not sure anybody knows. Yeah.
What's the maxillary nerve?
The maxillary is the one that goes from the bottom of your eye to the top of your mouth. And also around the nose, this is actually. Jayla, around the nose, this is actually the maxillary bone too. Inside the nose, around the nose, inside the nose is your ethmoid and vomer and your inferior nasal concha. But outside the nose, that's still maxillary. So your maxillary comes straight down and goes to the top of your mouth. This right here is your maxillary.
So the nasal part is literally only this top part right here.
What's that?
The nasal.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
And then where's the lacrimal gland?
That's just the little hole where you see that.
Oh, okay.
It's more to it than that, but that's the biggest feature on it. You want me again?
Is that, I really don't. Is this one real?
No, I have real ones, but none of them are real. Hey. I never thought. Oh, well, Joe. Okay, so put it in. Yeah, 'cause they never. Oh, will you make mine off? Yeah. All right. should. I just saw Kreider.
Do you want the,
I just saw Kreider.
but we didn't
Well,
see it.
it's been since we got back from Ireland. I mean,
Yeah,
I,
I must go there again.
We need a lot.
all right.
I'll go with one from all the time.
All right. Thank you.
I hate. Maybe not at
This is the inferior. Spin it around.
It's a little piece of that on the side.
Here, just okay, let's go to the top of the
I know, I'm moving.
What about that one where you have that was funny. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you want the one?
It's not braids you're supposed to do. Well, obviously, like, see it party, but
I mean, if you could make a whole
Abner,
break,
it is. Abner,
it's major.
I need to learn those words.
That was weird.
All right, everybody good?
You don't sound like honestly, you don't get like stuff.
I know where they are.
I came up with these. A lot.
How much more time we got?
Like
6 minutes.
like 6 minutes.
Huh?
Like 6 minutes.
No, we're not.
I said 6.
6? So we'll go over this. And then we go on.
Top to bottom.
What is sunrise?
S.
Just take the rest of the year.
Oh my god, that's you.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't finish it. She was saying how everyone was doing so bad, and I was like, did you see the
I'll go with the right
She might put in the grade book as her class. But it's also her fault. We're all tired. So, if we would have done it maybe tomorrow, it would have been better. Like, for tomorrow. I was like, just take my time. So, like, I was only for like 5 minutes. I was like, when you and Jessica were done, I was like, oh. Her naps in her class are the best. I think, yeah, I think she had, I don't know, there's something in the air. I didn't even know that Mr. Peterson isn't here anymore. Because they were talking about it, like, Mr. Wild. Yeah, he retired. And now they're stroke. It's giving me last. No, 9th junior.
Yours is too.
No.
Yeah, he was bad.
Really?
Yeah.
He couldn't even wait till the end of
The
this
class?
year.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Johnny surgery.
Yeah.
You were tired?
Second semester.
I'm literally over here like with my eyes closed and all I hear is I can hear you just talking and I'm like,
Yeah, Mr. Peterson, he was done with everything. He did not want to wait another semester.
wait, do you know if we turn in the Mandela thing?
It was a lot. No, she checks it tomorrow. Like stamps. You put it in your notebook today.
She stamped all this today. Wait, she stamped like
She gets your notebook, like she gives you the table of contents pages, and you put those and your umbrella, and then you do at the end.
Wait, she stamps on
These are you put into this with the cards, and then on the board. It's about functions. On the board.
oh like yeah. She stamped our
Why does
today and we
she honors like
just goes around and like just go
Yeah.
oh that's
It's how she stamps it in your notebook.
because you're honors. But she stamped
Like that make any sense, honestly?
no, but today you say when you're saying why does she treat honors like that, but you guys are supposed to be admins.
Doesn't
All
matter.
right, let's do me a favor. Put the skulls on the side of the room. You guys take the paper, and I want all the
That's
sticks
the whole
down.
point of having honors. Dude, the whole point of having honors is going to make See, it's like taking AP, like something. Like no joke.
Ah. You know what I mean? Make sure you bring your paper.
There you go.
What?
I'm a master.
Treat the honors like
What? Because he's talking about how she yeah, and how she treats honors like badly.
I didn't say that.
But like, you literally said she treats honors like
She expects us to know that she's gonna do it.
yeah. But like, he's saying that thing about like, there is honors. That's like the whole point of being an honor.
Do it. No, I heard it. Make sure to do it.
I'm gonna die for that. I donate my vote. Is it possible to make phone That's unfortunate. I have
Oh, yeah. Like,
I'm already tired. You don't need to believe me. You're already tired.
You still haven't watched
Hey, Allison! Where's your skull?
Huh?
Where's your skull right there?
Oh,
why would you do that?
forgot.
Why would you do that?
You pushed me.
Why would you leave the school?
Okay, are we now? Five? Oh my God, we're here already?
Thank God.
Thank you, Allison.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too, my brother.
Hi,
Hi, Alvin.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. You know why?
Everything's
We're doing notes today?
Yeah.